Hi everyone, this is Melanie. What we're going to discuss today are different types of tools for applying your drills to your canvas. There's quite a few options out there, quite a few that may or may not work for you. What I use is a variety of different things, so let's talk about those things today. So first, what I have in front of me are tools that I have had for other projects. So basically, I have done a lot of rhinestone type setting for my bridal shoes, which I'll show you here. So you can see these have been like majorly blinged out. I applied rhinestones to my wedding shoes. These used to be painted before my wedding, of course, but regardless, the whole point is to show you that application is why I have these particular tools, a couple of these. So they weren't designed for diamond painting, but they will work for that to some degree. This pick-me-up stick used to be made by a company called QUICKSTIK for using for die cutting, for small intricate dies that cut with paper, and you could lift it up and you've got this other pointed end, or like kind of a flat end that is good for, you know, like removing the paper from its backing, that kind of thing. So that's what I have this for. And of course I have the two types that you get with a diamond painting kit. So let's get started with this. Now, I want to go through and kind of do a comparison on each type and show you and tell you what I've learned or what I've figured out with the different options. The only ones that are actually designed for diamond painting are these two. So what I want to make sure you understand is when people go and do negative reviews on things like this and say, oh, it doesn't work for my diamond drills or whatever, they weren't created to work with your diamond drills. So I really can't stand it when I see negative reviews on a product when it is not designed for that use. Like we're blaming them because they didn't know that eventually diamond painting was going to become a thing and it doesn't work for that or whatever. I mean, it seems kind of silly, doesn't it? But I have found uses for these. So the one that came with my cheaper diamond paintings is this one, and you all probably recognize this one, right? So on one end, it's got the normal point just for one drill at a time. The other side has got a point or a side for 5 drills at a time. I've never successfully gotten this to work like I wanted it to. So I don't really use this one, even though you see wax in that. That's probably the one time I attempted it and failed miserably, so I just don't use it. The one that I really like is the one that comes from the Diamond Art Club, and there's a couple of other diamond art painting companies that send this one that's a little better. I know it looks like not much here, but once you put the gripper on it, this becomes a tool that is comfortable, it's easy to use, it's easy to grip, it doesn't give you the weird, callus areas and whatever. So this one comes with my Diamond Art Club paintings, which I have a majority of right now, which is what this is you see below. But it's got the regular tip on one end, and it also comes with an adapter tip for like 3, but I actually can get this one to work. So I have been using it for putting down 3 drills at a time. Works a little better, it has a little more control than the ones that have like 5 drills or more. So this one is a definite. This one's easy. Now with this one, you have a couple of options. This is the Diamond Art Club wax that is sent. For some reason, I notice that my Diamond Art Club wax seems to hold out longer than wax from other companies. I don't know if they're doing something different with it. Maybe it's just my imagination. I don't know. Their little heart-shaped wax is cute, of course, but in all reality, I think it seems to stay in my pen better and stay on longer for whatever reason. The other thing that I do is this. I have another pen that I use for putty. So I have used like a Plasti-Tac type of putty. I'll take a little tiny bit and push it into the tip, and that actually gives me longevity, and it helps to not have to replace the wax over and over and over. Now the problem with putty, which I'm going to get to in one of these other tools too, is that it can leave what I call putty poop on my drills. So there's going to be some tips that I'm going to give you in a minute while using this particular tool, which works the same as if you had putty in the end of your normal drill tool. Okay, so let's just do a couple of colors And then we're going to discuss the trays in a minute because yes, believe it or not, I have, preferences on trays. But I do want to show you just using the wax, the normal wax and a normal pen, a drill tool, it just places down like normal. The difference is it's going to come up. Sometimes the wax comes out on your piece and you get wax boogers. So yes, we have wax boogers and we have putty poop. That's what I like to call them. So that's going to happen regardless of what type of tool you use. But I'm here to tell you my personal opinion on which tool I prefer and which works best for me and which works quickest. So having said that, this is a basic tool. Now to use your end with the multiple drill, you're just going to push it down in the wax like so. And I hate when people say like so. I don't know why I just did that. But anyway, you're going to push it down in the wax. And then if you've got your drills lined up in your tray, it's a whole lot easier. Now to get your drills lined up, what you want to do is if you've got one that's got the funnel end, which is the ones I prefer, this is the clear one from Diamond Art Club, I believe. And so what I do is I take it and I cover the tip with my finger and then I hold it here and I first start by shaking it back and forth gently. You don't want to sling these bad boys out everywhere. And I've done that, you guys. I've had them all over the place and been like, oh my God, why did I have my plastic pull back? Usually I do it away from my art canvas because I don't want them to fall out. But anyway, I have a lot in here right now. So what I do is I shake it back and forth and then I slide it this way. And so what you see is I've got this big pile over here because I have too many, but what it does is it lines them up fairly tight in a row. Then I can, I see I dropped one here. I slung one out. Then I can get the three that are closest together and push, and I'm gonna get my three on there like this, okay? Hope you can see that. And then I can take it over here and find a place where there's three in a row and just push them down. And that's easy. That is as easy as that gets. So same thing, if I ever get to the point where I've got gaps and I don't have three in a row or whatever, I just would shake it again, shake it back and forth some, and then shake it back this way. And you see how they just tighten. So basically, if you push this way, it slides them that way. This is my favorite tray because of the fact that it does have a funnel, but also because it seems to line everything up really nicely for multiple use. And also because, it's just easy to get to them when they're this way. So that's enough about this tool. And that's basically the same situation with this one. Now I had, like I said, these particular ones from when I did, these two from when I did my shoes. So these were great for applying these, but because rhinestones are larger than these drills, especially the tiny square drills, then, these are optional, but I only tried these because I had them. So what this was about $3.50, and I think I got this at a scrapbook convention at some point for just beading and things like that. But what happens, what it comes with is a few toothpicks, just regular standard toothpicks, and a bunch of these little wax, wax discs. So what you do is you kind of warm the wax a little bit between your fingertips. You lay, and I'm going to show you, I've already got mine on here, but you lay the toothpick tip on the wax. Let's just do it with this end. Right in the center like this. And then you just kind of want to warm it up. Now, a lot of people use a heat tool from their scrapbook room, card making. A lot of people don't have that. If you're a diamond painter, you may not have all those other tools that I might have because I've scrapbooked and, crafted and done all this stuff for 25 years. But anyway, so you'll get this soft and you kind of push it in there like that. And then once it's soft and flexible and pliable, you just adjust it to wrap around your toothpick. Now, I totally didn't get this warm enough and it's kind of cracking in my fingertips right now. But if you hold it and make it more pliable, then it will stay on and it gives you a better, tip. So this side's been done. This side's complete. I've made it pretty small because I want the tip to be as small as possible for working with a drill. I need to be able to see around it to see where my drill is attached. So basically what I mean by that is I'm going to come down here and I'm picking one up. You see how great it picks it up? It really does a nice job. And then I'm going to take it over here and I'm going to put it down. So this works very well. Moving it into place could be a little tricky, but I did notice a little bit of this wax comes off on some of my drills. So basically we're just going to push just like you would your tool and press. Now, this is a good tool. I don't think it's as efficient as using putty or using the one with the gripper. This tool does work. It is definitely something, if you already have it, that I would continue to use it. If you don't have it, it wouldn't be something I would go and necessarily purchase. So I'm gonna put these aside. Now, this is a Hot FX jewel setter. Basically the same thing, as what I have here. This is a lot softer wax. I don't know if you guys ever went to the orthodontist or had kids that went to the orthodontist and they had that really super soft wax. That's what this reminds me of. It is super soft. So you can always get more wax at the orthodontist office if you needed to reapply. But you see how large the ball end is on this? So this does work for rhinestones very well, but for diamond drills, it's a little tricky because it's so large. So let's pick something up over here. And you notice I pick up 2. The problem with picking up 2 is only because, wax all over me, is they're so far apart that if I place these like I would need to, they're gonna be far enough apart where I'm actually gonna have to pick one up and move it and whatever. So this is not an effective tool. So if you have one of these, or if you see and you say, oh, that'd be great for my diamond drill or my diamond paintings, I would pass on this one, only because of the size of this wax. Now, I can't say whether if this was just a small amount of wax, like if I took a little bit off and put it on this end, you know, let's try that. I'm gonna take a little off. I'm trying not to destroy this thing. And I don't wanna run back into the same situation. This just seems like a better wax for picking up than that one, but let's try it. So I'm gonna put a tiny amount on my fingertips, warm it up, and then stick this smaller end in it. And then kind of just push around it. So we just have a little bit of wax, like this. All right, so now I've got a little tiny bit on this end. I feel like I have more control with this than I do a toothpick, but let's just try it. So let me get my drills over here where I can reach them. Let's see how this works. Yeah, I just don't feel like I have a lot of control because this, yeah, that doesn't work. The stick is so long, then I don't know, maybe if I'm holding it closer down here to the wax, you know, and it doesn't allow me to push my drill into place. So that would be a no for diamond painting. Again, I'm not saying this is a bad product because it is not designed for diamond painting. I'm just trying to find alternatives to what we have out on the market for diamond painting that would work. Potentially, okay? Lastly, this is called the Pick Me Up stick from Silhouette. It used to be made by a different company, like I said earlier. Now Silhouette has purchased the company, they use it. What this is a putty that is in this screwable, removable tip. So when you have this and you're using this, because I already had it, I was willing to try it. The tighter you screw this tip, the more putty comes out. You do not want a lot of putty. Like I actually probably have too much on that tip right now. But when you use this and you get used to this, I really like this tool. So the way I like to use this is I choose to pick up the drill on the side. So I'm right-handed. I pick up the drill on the left side, just barely touching it. And I'll show you what I mean. You see that? So the drill is barely touching that putty, but that putty is so sticky that it really holds that drill tight. It doesn't fall off. Technically, I can get 2 drills on here at the same time, like this, and then take it to my piece and push it down and place it where I need to place it. The one thing, you see how the putty will spread out if you have too much at the tip. So I want to push, I don't do this every time, but I had too much on there. So a lot of times what I'll do is remove all the excess putty. I want it to be fairly flat up against the tip, kind of like we do with our diamond drill tools. You want it pretty flat. You don't want it sticking out because then it comes out and whatever, it gets messy. But if I do it this way, then I can pick up from the left side, like I just did, place it down, and I have good control over it. The good thing is I have this little tool on the back that if I get these kind of in a wonky place, you know, if they're too far apart or whatever, I can kind of move them into place and have a little control over that. So that's a nice little part to have. The other thing is you want to be careful, and this goes with if you put putty in here, or if you use the putty in here, or if you put putty in one of your normal tools, you need to be careful not to touch it to your sticky part of your canvas. If you stick this on the adhesive, that putty comes out. It is like literal putty poop. There's like a little blob. You can't get it off. I use my tweezers. I have to pull it off. I never can get it all off. So it is kind of a pain. But the beauty of this is, and the beauty of using the putty, is that you have so much time and so many movements that you can make and drills and whatever, probably 500 before you have to replace it or, you know, pull a little bit out of it. And so it's very nice for efficiency. Let me show you how quickly I can do some painting here. So you hear the little pop when I put it down because it's so sticky, it sticks to my tool. But now I'm lining it straight up in the middle when I put it down, but if you put it on the side, if you pick it up with the side of it like that, then when you put it down, it doesn't make that sound. It's just because there's so much tack that it's popping because it's removing it, if that makes any sense. So you see me, I'm able to really quickly use this. Now I will say this took me some practice and a little bit of cursing. I probably said a few little nasty words because I got annoyed with it, but I was like, again, this company didn't design this for diamond painting. I'm trying it for that. I can't be mad at the company because it doesn't work. It's not what it's made for. So I'm not going to blame them because this thing that I decided to try didn't work properly for something that they didn't design it for. But you see how there's a little bit of putty right there on the side? Okay, if that happens, I wipe off a little excess. I can pick it back up as long as it's on my drill. It'll just pick right back up. If it's on the canvas, that's another issue. It's not coming up. So, see, I got that one out of place and I just kind of moved it into place, got a little more control. So if you have one of these, I say stick with this thing. This is great. Give it a try. Use it on the side, like I said, and you know, just practice with it. If you hate it, then don't use it. Use what you were given already. So let's rate these tools from my favorite to my least favorite. And I think that would help you to decide what might work for you. Least favorite, the Hot FX jewelry setter, only because of the size of this wax and the flimsiness of this tool. So let's set that one aside. Then we have this one, which was the Outlines Rubber Stamp Company pickups. Actually, the price tag is kind of covering up some of the name of this, but anyway, it's basically called a pickup. I would say this would be my fourth least favorite. Then this tool without a gripper and with regular wax would be my third least favorite. Now we're getting into our top two favorites, and I definitely love the grip on this. This one after a while really does kind of give me some struggles on my finger because I hold it pretty high. And this little part here is, you know, not designed for repetitive use like you're doing when you're diamond painting. But if you hold it pretty low or if you hold it a little higher, it's a lot more comfortable. The grip won't fit on this, but between these two, I would have to say I'm pretty much loving this QUICKSTIK. I'm sorry, they changed the name, the Pick Me Up stick, now that I've gotten used to it. There'd probably be a tie between first and second place for these two, but when I use this one, I use it with putty, like I said. So I'm still kind of going with the whole putty concept. But if I'm going to use this one with wax, I'm using it with the Diamond Art Club wax because something about that one seems to just stay in there longer, and it gives me more longevity than it does with the others, the cheaper ones. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I hope it kind of got you out of the normal realm of thinking for tools and what works. I do like this part, like I said, on the end for the multiple placement as well. So these two, like I said, top two, 1 and 2, would be my two choices. All right, guys, I hope you will continue to come back and watch me in the future. I'm going to be discussing options for storage, and I know that's a topic that's been covered on a couple of different videos for diamond painting. I don't want to be redundant. I want to give you guys information that you don't already have. Everyone has a different opinion, I almost feel like storage is based on the person who uses it and what they started with. So we will come back another day and discuss some of the storage options, and I will see you back then. And you guys don't forget to subscribe. I would love to see you back. I'm going to have a wide variety of videos on my channel. So I would love to be able to show you something that maybe you've never seen before. Thank you as always for watching, and we'll see you back soon.